There are over 400 volunteers in Last Day Dog Rescue. I'm a volunteer, a foster mom, I coordinate events.
I'm a volunteer, and my wife and I foster dogs, and I've actually adopted 2 of the dogs that we fostered. And we also help transport dogs to different locations, pick up crates and other materials as needed.
I am a volunteer photographer for Last Day Dog Rescue.
I volunteer for Last Day Dog Rescue. I'm a foster.
I'm a volunteer and I foster dogs.
I'm a foster mom. I do virtual home visits and I mentor new fosters.
I volunteer because I always think about my own dogs, and if they somehow escaped and ended up in a shelter, their only hope to get out would be that a rescue would take them in.
I volunteer because I like to help dogs and support my wife, who is really passionate about the dog rescue, and I just like to do good things for the animals who have not had a good start in their lives.
Well, it started when I lost my job a few years ago, and then I broke my ankle and was living in a wheelchair for several weeks. And viewing the pitiful photos on Pet Finder, after viewing them, I knew I had to do something. And so I just took my hobby of photography and I got in the shelters and I started photographing them, making them look adorable to the public, and it's working. My little project is working and it's saving lives. I'm very proud.
I volunteer because my dog that I've adopted was a rescue dog and someone fostered him. So I'm just kind of paying back the favor.
I like the people that are involved with rescue. I like helping the dogs find a perfect home.
I volunteer because I feel it's the right thing to do. They give you so much back of themselves when you can help them in such a small way as just giving them a home.
I think that a lot of people are under the impression that it's only injured dogs and pit bulls in rescue, and we do get a lot of injured dogs and pit bulls, but they don't realize that it's every breed, purebreds, designer mixes, all ages, and even really healthy dogs end up in rescues.
When my wife brought the idea to me about rescuing and fostering dogs, I had my reservations because I thought that it would be a lot of work and we would have dogs that would be dangerous to my 2 young children who are 5 and 7. And my experience is the opposite, where it's not a problem. The dogs are really great. They vet the dogs, they check them out before they give them to a foster, and it is a safe situation.
I think the biggest misconception that I've heard and the questions that I get are, they're all wounded dogs, they're all injured, there's something wrong with them behaviorally or otherwise, and that's not necessarily true. They're not all one breed, they're not all black, they're not all pit bulls. They're a range from the little designer dogs to, full mastiff. My goodness, we get them all. We get full breeds, we get a lot of mixed breeds. They're all different, and they're all here for a different reason.
Most people ask how I could do it. They say that there's no way that they could foster and then give up the dog, that they would just keep them all, and so they just choose not to participate at all. And yeah, there are sad moments, and it is tough maybe giving them up. You miss them, but overall it's a more fulfilling experience, and you're happy to see them go to their forever home, and then it gives a new dog a chance. I'm able to save more lives that way, keeping the spot open in my home.
I think the biggest misconception is that these dogs are bad in some way, that they're damaged dogs, when they're really not. They're really great animals who just, because of no fault of their own, find themselves in a situation in a shelter or in a rescue. And I think that's really the misconception. People think that these dogs are damaged or something's wrong with them, when they're wonderful animals and they're really appreciative.
Oh, people always say, how can you give them up after you've been fostering them? And I say, well, it's easier to give them to a good home than know that they're dead, because I didn't.
I photograph the adoptables to make them adorable and get them better exposure, sharing them, get them networked, to get them adopted faster and into permanent homes, permanent loving homes faster.
When I started looking for something to do after we put my baby to sleep last year, it was really hard, and I got to the point where I needed to have interaction with a dog in any way that I possibly can. And I seen Last Day Dog Rescue on Pet Finder when I was just kind of browsing, looking to see, okay, what's out there. And the interaction I really was looking for is the ability to play with the dogs, to be around them, and the attention that they crave is something that I can provide. I don't have the money to financially donate. I don't have the ability to adopt or foster a dog at this point in time. So the only thing I have is my time.
The ways I help are basically by assisting with events, obviously fostering, taking the dogs in. Social media is a great way to help spread the word about the need, things of that nature.
I help with fundraisers. We had a book sale at one of our events, and we do adoption events.
Owen, my son, and Reese's sister, they help by feeding the dogs, putting them in their crates, playing with them, and exercising them, and they really enjoy it.
I believe in giving second chances and happily ever afters.
I believe in doing the right thing, and I believe rescuing dogs who need help is the right thing.
I believe that destroying animals simply due to overcrowded kennels is unacceptable.
I believe in being the voice for those who can't speak for themselves.
I believe that rescuing a dog is the best feeling in the whole wide world, and I just don't see how people wouldn't want a rescue dog. They're so much fun.
I believe in giving these precious lives a second chance. I believe that people need to be educated on the cause, why we're here, what we do, that these animals have a future after where they've been dumped or in a shelter or given up for whatever reason. Some of them are legitimate reasons, some of them not so legitimate. But when I became a foster failure for all the wrong reasons, I was sold. She's part of my heart.
I know how to find love in deep inside ya. I know how to find love in deep inside ya. I know how to find love in deep inside ya. I know how to find love in deep inside ya.
Sometimes people tell me that they can never foster because it would break their heart. Maybe they have the idea that I'm not affected by it, but it's really the opposite. Of course there are sad moments, but I've never cared more or been more fulfilled knowing that I'm doing something so positive. I'm advocating for the dogs that don't have a voice and can't speak for themselves. It would break my heart so much more to know the pain and suffering that they have to go through in the shelter and how lonely the dogs are sitting there and not do anything to help change it. I know I can't do everything, but I can at least do something.
I believe in rescue.
I believe in rescue.
I believe in rescue.
And I believe in rescue.
I believe in rescue.
I believe in rescue.